Okay, so this is a bit of a helpful guide, hopefully, to some who are looking to fit this aftermarket screen that I got from Aliexpress. So it's a bit of a mess at the moment, I'm afraid, but I'll try and walk through what I've done to sort of rectify some issues that I was having during install. So this is the original unit and the original CD unit as well. So essentially, I plugged all this in as per the instruction guide, and all the buttons on the unit were working, but none of the screen was working. So I worked with the suppliers, and they've helped me diagnose some things. So I'm just going to run through with you what cables go where, really. Right, so starting from the top, we're going to ignore this cable here because that's for later. I'll explain that in a bit. The three that we have, we've got 3 sets of units, or wiring rather. We've got one here, we get one about mid, and then one at the bottom. So I'll describe the one at the top first. This plugs into obviously the top unit on the original. These 3 don't go into anything. And then this unit here has the blanking cover. So that goes onto the top one. And then you've got your one of your power units here. That plugs in, and if you trace that back, they go into the cam box, and then into your main power unit. So that's quite straightforward, and that's a direct fit as well. The second part is your mid. So these 2 don't go anywhere at all, and then you've got your just another box, your grey box, that goes straight through to your blue motherboard. And again, that's just a direct fit, so that's nice and easy. Your radio wiring is a little bit more complicated because there's a lot there's a lot here that doesn't actually go anywhere, which confused me because there's quite a lot just sitting there idle. But essentially, you've got your little box here where you've got the blanking cover at the top. You actually plug in the bottom one to this unit, and then you wire this one back through, and then as per the instruction guide, these are all on there anyway, so that's not a problem. And then that goes through to the main power unit, so at least it's all connected that way. Your antenna unit gets plugged into here, which comes up, feeds through, and into the white unit that goes on the original radio. And then that is pretty much the wiring setup. So that's pretty much all the wiring needed to get the actual unit functioning with the buttons. So your door lock, just pretty much all of the original buttons on the original front unit. However, the main screen wasn't working, so we ran a few little tests through just to see if there were any wires that weren't quite connecting properly. And I'll fast forward to the fix that we came around, and that was essentially, if you take a bit of wire, and ignore that wire because we'll come back to that in a bit. If you take a little bit of wire here and look underneath the fuse boxes, you want to find a 5 amp or a 10 amp fuse that essentially has power, so 15 volts running through it whilst the engine is running, and then when you turn the engine off, it has no voltage through it. So I tested at the bottom 2 first. They had no power whatsoever. And then this unit, that fuse box there, fuse and fuse, they were running constant, but the one on the far left that I've actually wired this into, that was running 15 volts whilst the engine was running, and then no voltage whilst the engine was cut off. So what we did is just wrap that wire around the fuse, and then this will go directly into your mains power. So you'll splice that through, which brings me now to the top black wiring, because what I've done there is just pulled that right the way through the unit down here. So I'm going to replace this wire, I'm going to replace this wire with this one, so that way there's no wire sort of kicking about your passenger seat. And then that has the whole unit functioning properly. Your steering buttons work as well. So yeah, we're going to get it back together and see how it goes. So I'll say it now, it's always worthwhile disconnecting the battery whilst you're doing the electrics on it, because you just don't want a fuse to blow or anything like that, because you'll spend forever and a day trying to trace it back through. But essentially with this fuse here, you just wrap it around it and plug it straight back in, and then that will connect directly to the new unit. So that is the spliced wire, all wrapped in place. Same with down the fuse. Battery has been reconnected. All the other plugs are connected. Please stay, don't fall. We're just going to start it. And we have power. So all buttons work like normal. Obviously the lock's not working, doors aren't shut. Hazards are working absolutely fine. These buttons are all working great. And then we have music, sound coming through. And the steering wheel controls also work as well, which is really great.